Yeah, so David, Stephen, can you do start on my right, Stephen's left.
So we've got David. Hello, David. My name is Stephen. I'm Program Director for the Bachelor of Education, Primary and Secondary. I came in late. I gather you're from Gold Coast.
And David, remind me, you're bachelor or masters?
I'm masters.
Of?
Teaching.
Yeah. Which, primary or secondary?
Secondary.
Okay. And your subject areas?
English and history.
Fantastic. Thank you. I will stop interrupting. And now we have...
Hi, David. This is Eliza. And I am taking Masters of Teaching in Primary. And apparently you cannot see me in the video because my laptop just died.
No, you can see because it's from that camera.
Yeah, but my video is not working. So
I think
I'm going to do what Jim suggested, that I need to buy a new laptop.
Thank you for the plug. Yes, Prema next year. One of the requirements of this course is computers that work. Go, Prema.
Hi, David. This is Prema, and I'm doing my master's in teaching secondary. Good to see you. Actually, not see you. Hear you.
Go for it.
Hi, David. My name is Niti. I'm from India. I'm an international student here, and I'm doing my master's in teaching secondary. And it's great to hear you now.
Hi, my name is Manu, and I'm doing a master's of primary. And yeah, we're excited to have you on the Zoom app.
Thank you.
G'day, I'm Michael. Masters in teaching secondary as well. Focus on PhD. That's about it.
Wonderful. And keep the mic over there for whoever's chatting. So I think this is probably going to be it for this session. But Stephen, do you want to say a few words and then we will release you? Bearing in mind that you know who this recording will go to all your bachelor students as well. All being well. So volume, but not so much pictures.
Given what you've said, well, welcome to all the bachelor students.
Yes.
You start a big journey as well as these students, and they've had the privilege of being here in class, and we trust that you will get the opportunity of seeing the video and catching up with the echo recordings and seeing what's been going on in Jim's class. It's foundational. So we will catch up some other time as you do the bachelor.
Yeah.
And David, we might catch up with you sometime. And if you have the opportunity of coming down, you'll be more than welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you. Have you got any comments, questions to Stephen? Any of you, including David?
Nope.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Stephen. Thanks for popping in. Your busy schedule.
All right.
So this afternoon, folks, I think it would be good to hear a bit more from David, and then maybe we could have a bit of a chat about some of the assignments or anything that particularly David has got as a question. It will be quite new to me to hear what an onliner at this point in the course is actually thinking. And I'm hoping that, David, you've had some opportunity to look at Moodle so far, and it's probably raised more questions than it's answered. So let me start with you, David, and you've got the floor. Go.
That's intimidating.
Liberating.
I don't have a heap of questions. I've kind of used Moodle and everything before, and I'm just at the moment taking my time to go through all my subjects and just plan out my calendar and see how it works. The only question I kind of had is, are all the lectures happening in this kind of format, or do they get pre-recorded and then uploaded for me to watch if I can't make one?
Yeah, I think the key word in your question there was all, and there's no real definite pattern. At lunchtime today, we were discussing that a lot of the subjects are both online and intensive. So in each intensive, there is an automatic recording going on, and that's echo. Now, sadly, this week, the camera in this room has decided to die, but the sound has worked, and what's on the screen is still recorded, the PowerPoint, but not the video of the room. When it comes to typically or all, it's hard to generalize, as I'm trying to say. I would like you to view the resources on Moodle as a resource that you dip into as you need to, not in any sequential order, but one as you're in charge of your study, you know what you need to do, therefore you know what you need to dig into more than others. So I think it's good to get a general feel of each Moodle and go through them and work out what's there, and then sample the material as much or as little as you need to. Cool. I don't think that's answered your question perfectly, but it might have started to.
No, that's pretty helpful. Helps me understand where your minds are at. So yeah.
Good. Okay. Now, when it comes to curriculum subjects for MTS, for your high school teaching subjects, those subjects don't have intensives, so they're entirely online, and you have tutors in inverted commas for them. And one of the things I was saying to the students just now is that they will expect to be tutoring you as opposed to lecturing you. So they don't think of themselves as giving you a suite of content, but more directing your traffic as and when you get to a crossroads and you need to make a decision. So they're guides more than they are lecturers. And they're obviously marking your assignments and directing you to get a grip of the assignments. One thing that might be helpful to you is when you look through the subject outline and you're getting your head around the assignments, go to the back of the assignment of the subject outline and look at the rubrics, and you'll see a list of criteria on the left. That's the most crucial thing to get your head into. Not so much the words on the different levels of passing, but what the criteria are and what the different weightings are.
Cool.
Okay. Any other questions you might have so far?
Not hugely. I was looking at that. I can't remember how to say it. The exam you have to do for the maths and English.
Oh, Lantite. Yes.
Yeah. I don't really have any questions about that, but I didn't know you had to do it before I read it just then. And if you just write like the general date as like next year sometime, that's fine. Hey.
Well, yeah, let me give you a bit of a heads up and other onliners about Lantite. What we've talked about today, this morning, is that our group here is going to do the prep test for literacy and numeracy this week and upload the Lantite questionnaire this week. So I'd love you to join them and set aside some time to read up on the ASA website, and then to do the literacy, and it'll take you an hour, and the numeracy, it'll take you an hour, 30 questions each, mark your own, and convert that to a percentage and upload that to your questionnaire. And then that gets it out of the way. Then I would argue the best thing to do is do the Lantite test as soon as you can. Don't leave it till second year, please don't leave it to second year. Set your mind to do it as soon as you can. But the point is, if you end up with scores of, say, 50% for literacy and 50% for numeracy, then have a real good chat with your program director, which is me, and we will then negotiate the best time for you to do land time.
Okay, helpful. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're getting 90% on these practice ones, feel free, that's a green light straight away. Get booked in and do your land type test as soon as you can this year.
Okay, good to know.
Anything else?
So far, that's all I've got.
Okay, well, that's excellent. I think you've hit some good nails on the head there. Class, we've lost one. Where's the bathroom? And we've lost Stephen. Anything on your mind that you want to raise while we've got David with us? Anything that you might, from what we've done this week, that you think would be a good thing for an onliner to be thinking through and bearing in mind? Maybe I'm giving you thinking time, folks. If you could be thinking about, are there particular areas that you know now you're going to have to focus on? So you're all perfect, you're all heading for an HD. Yay, David, they're all going for HD.
Wonderful.
It's in the bag. They're thinking. I can feel it, they're thinking.
Actually, I do have another question.
Well, yeah, well, thank you for giving them thinking time. Great, go for it, David.
With the plagiarism quiz,
yes.
I already did one for my bachelor's. Can I just use the same results, or should I do it again?
Okay, good question. So you're an AC veteran by the sound of it.
Yeah, I did the end of my bachelor's with AC.
Yeah, cool. I don't think I've been asked that question before.
I'll just do it again because it's APA.
Stop. I have a very important announcement to make to you, David.
Okay.
Are you sitting comfortably on the Gold Coast?
I am.
Good. Well, if I'm not much mistaken, your plagiarism quiz would have been done through something other than APA 6.
Yeah, it was Caribbean.
Caribbean, don't swear. Not online. Please don't use that word in my context again. No, we're APA 6 and APA 6 only. So that answers your question. Please do it again.
Perfect, will do.
And you've got to change your way of thinking. You'll have to have some therapy, some what do you call it when you have you're sent to sleep? When somebody is hypnotized, yes, you need some hypnotic therapy to get rid of that Turabian in your thinking. One of the most important things to lose, David, is any possibility of a notion that you could ever write another footnote in an assignment. Because if I see a smell of a footnote, it will get naught. No. So basically, we don't do footnotes. So think about other ways of doing that, appendices or whatever, and APA 6 is the way to go.
Awesome. I didn't like Caribbean anyway.
You didn't know it too well?
Yeah, because I did my bachelor's, I did most of it at Harvest, which used APA.
You are partly inculcated then.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. So you originally were converted, and then you were polluted by the Turabian, and now we're putting you back on the straight and narrow. Very good. Yeah, do that as soon as you can, and then you do it once. You only have to do it once, and then you can enter that date and that score, which should be 100% on all your cover sheets thereafter.
Cool. Thank you.
Right. Anything else? While you're thinking, or any of you, and you better say something, class. Otherwise, I don't know what David will think. I'm looking at the subject outline now, and there are 12 sections, as you can see. What I've been saying to the class is some are definitely for you to dig into if you need to, and some will need a bit of unpacking. So when it comes to the echoes, for example, of professional experience and clinical teaching model, there are two manuals that you'll find on the EdInfo page. And if you're not on the EdInfo page, we need to get you there because there's a lot of resources there. So the professional experience manual and the education student handbook are really vital documents that you need to become familiar with, not read them cover to cover, but know what's in them. In particular, you need to be well prepared for your placements.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone, class?
Yes.
Yes.
I've always been. Right, can you hear me, David?
Yeah.
Awesome. With essays, I've been always opposed to writing numerals in text. And in some of our readings, there have been numerals as opposed to 7. The number 3 is supposed to write THREE. What's your take?
Wow.
On whether we write the numeral or the word?
Thank you for that question, Michael. You are. What a goodie. When I was at, this is where I picked it up from, when I was at Melbourne Uni, it was drummed into me quite clearly that 1 through to 10 is with alphabet, and then 11 onwards is numerals. And I've always stuck to that. I mean, nobody's lost any marks, but let's face it, if you want to get an HD, you've got to have a perfect looking paper. Okay, so why not practice? Why not? So that's what I would do. I don't. And another thing is you're not supposed to use the dash and the 2 thingamies for percent. It's PER cent. So it would be 10 TEN per cent rather than numerals and little symbol. Good question. Any more from anyone?
Just on the matter of what I want to focus on after what we talked about.
Can you hear David?
Yep.
Cool.
The microphone makes no difference.
Oh, does it not?
No.
Yeah, so I want to focus on my time management.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Splitting off my assignments into steps.
Yes.
Because I easily get overwhelmed with assignments.
Excellent. So there's a bit of resources on this page under number 1 and maybe number 5. So dig in there, and my advice to you there would be maybe seek a family friend with whom you share that as a goal. That particularly if you're coming back to study after a time when not, it's so important to get those habits going. My son actually, here's a little story. He told me last night he's been listening to a podcast about changing habits, and a little trick he found was that was reported to him is get a little stick-up note, a little post-it note with a word on it, and just stick it in a prominent position that you wouldn't normally see when you wouldn't normally be thinking about something, maybe on the mirror in the bathroom or something, just to remind you that yes, you've got to create a new habit, and I need help to do that because until it's formed, it's hard work to get the new habit. I read a lovely book a couple of years back. I think it's called Small Move, Big Change, by a lady, Caroline, I think, from New York. And it was absolutely revolutionary to me. You know, if you set a New Year's resolution to lose 10 kilos by June, okay, but what's the breakdown of that? What are you actually going to do about that? And for me, I started, this is a year ago, I'm not going to eat after 7. And much to my family's annoyance, because they're dishing out the meal or something at 7 o'clock, I'm not supposed to eat after 7. Got to start mine now. Sorry. But if it's a little thing that you then get a habit of, you can then build to another little thing and another little thing. And as we were discussing earlier this week, if you break an assignment into chunks, you're going to do this bit, and then you're going to do this bit, and then this bit, rather than, yeah, I'm going to do this assignment this weekend. Oh, big deal. It's like a monster, isn't it? So, yeah, I love the emphasis. And you've noticed what your need is, and you've voiced it, which is half the battle. Excellent. Anything else? You see, EDU 401/501 is, sorry, 105/405 is a really interesting collection of so many things. And for some of you, the actual writing is going to be the biggest challenge. For some of you, it's going to be research. Some of you, procrastination. You know, you've got to work out what your Achilles heel is and then find ways of addressing it. And fancy having a subject that helps you do that. It's amazing, I think. And we do capture another bunch of mandatory requirements as well. David?
Yes.
I think we're going for last word from you.
I don't have any. Thanks.
You don't have one? Okay.
I didn't write a speech.
You didn't write a speech. Okay. Okay. Well, one thing we didn't talk about, David, with you, is the oral presentation.
Okay.
Have you noticed that?
No.
You have to video yourself for 10 minutes teaching a small group a little mini lesson that you write an essay, a lesson plan for.
Okay.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
You haven't fallen into the sea? Good.
No.
See, the point is this subject is for teachers. Therefore, any very important skill for teachers is their tone of voice, their body language, their intonation, their pronunciation, and their ability to engage kids. So why not have an assignment that does that and gives you a taster for how good you are at the beginning of the course? So you've got to think of a location, a setting. It's not going to have to be a real school, but it could be family, friends, it could be a church group, all sorts of places which you can get some kids together and do a mini practice lesson in any subject of your choice.
Sick. How many people did you want?
And then you post that on YouTube. You can press private if you wish, if you're concerned about the privacy of the people you're with. But mainly it's videoing you, and whether you hit kids or shout at them or do all sorts of those bad things or not.
Do you want me to tell them to be disruptive?
No, come on. If they are disruptive naturally, then yes, you've got to work on how to manage that legally. But don't set them up for it. No, that's not really the point. Let's focus more on your teaching rather than them being clowns.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
Have you got any context you think you might do that in?
I actually already lead a small group. I was thinking maybe something like that.
Yes. But then it doesn't matter what age they are, but you've got to designate, they're going to be year 9s commerce or something. And then you've got to say, you've got to pretend you are year 9 and you're studying commerce.
Sick.
So that's the deal. And the main thing, have a look at the rubric for it, and you'll see that 60% is you, and only 10% the lesson plan.
Cool. Is the subject, does it have to be a school subject?
Yes, I think so. Now, don't teach them how to build an atomic bomb. That really wouldn't be appropriate.
Sold.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, ideally, if you know, whatever your curriculum areas are, choose a little segment from there that you're comfortable with, and off you go.
Cool. Thank you.
No worries. Look, I think we're going to sign off there. Thank you very much for joining us, David, and all the best. And thank you for representing the onliners. It's been great.
Thanks, guys. Have a lovely day.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye, David.
Well, there you go.